I love my bookshelf very much, and I love watching bookshelf tours. So today, I figured I would do one of my favorite videos, and lighting is so bad, do a bookshelf tour. Now, I am not going to be doing the kind of bookshelf tour where you pull every single book out. This is my 4th time trying to film this video, and I was doing the method of pulling each book out, and I was running out of space on my camera. So I will not be doing that, and I'll just be kind of going over some of my favorites on each shelf and the vibe of each shelf and that kind of thing. So enjoy. First, I think I start with my what is supposed to be my to be read cart, but it's kind of not that anymore. I really have to rearrange things. So first up, I have this lovely little oh, where did it go? There we go. Like picture encased in glass. I'm not even sure how they did that. Of me and my girlfriend. And I have some pictures of us behind from when we were like, you know, the beginning of our relationship. I have a couple, like, I have a poster there that I can't find a place for. Lord of the Rings Anniversary magazine because I am Lord of the Ring trash. This is my girlfriend's comic book or graphic novel. She's reading that. And then these are some kind of books that I just don't know where to put, unfortunately. Down here are borrowed books. These are all the books that I have borrowed from a friend, and I will be returning them soon. And then just a random Polaroid camera. Comes the shameful part. These are books that I have to unhaul, and then I have all like my witchcraft stuff here because I have nowhere else to put it, so yeah. And then next to my bookshelf, I have my Tower of Funko Pops. Really hope Daniel Green doesn't see this. He would have a conniption. I have nowhere to put them, so they're just right there for now. Okay, top shelf. This is specifically just young adult, and then it carries on to the shelf below for a couple books, but this is specifically just young adult. I have a fake plant from IKEA, a random candle that I got at Halloween, and because I am a spooky bitch, I have kept it up. This is all contemporary right up to here. A lot of these books are queer and sapphic. Some of them I have read, some of them have not. Queen's a Geek by Jen Wilde is one of my favorites. I love that book. And also Geekarella. But a lot of these ones on here I have not read. We have like a fantasy, sci-fi-ish kind of shelf. I don't know. I just kind of put all of the hardcovers that like were the same height together. And then Blood Scion had nowhere else to go because it's a paperback, so I just kind of slid it up there, and I think it looks good. This one is signed I Love Kelly Armstrong. I haven't read these two yet, but I really want to. I really want to read this one, and I loved this one, so yeah. Here I have a couple historical fiction, one thriller, and another fantasy that is the start of my fantasy section for the second shelf. So these 3 here are historical fiction. These 2 are sapphic. This one is not. Loved this book. It was incredible. It's a thriller, ghostish kind of story. Definitely recommend it. And then The Midnight Lie, which is a sapphic young adult fantasy. Have not read it, but I really want to. Okay, on to the second shelf. So up to here is young adult, and then it continues to adult. So these are all like young adult fantasies. This was a favorite series of mine when I was a teenager. So was this one, and so was this one. I haven't read this one. I loved the original trilogy, but I don't think I'm going to continue. I'm definitely unhauling these at some point. I did used to love it, but not anymore. Sapphic Pirates. Also not a fan of this series anymore. I did used to really like it, but again, I've kind of grown out of it. I love this duology. I lent the first book out, so I don't have it right now, but highly recommend the Crier's War duology. Another skull and a fake plant, because, you know, aesthetic. We have adult fantasy, my favorite. The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. Definitely want to read that one. I did love this book. However, I've heard some controversial things about it. I'm really not sure where I stand anymore, so kind of iffy on that one. And this one sounds really cool as well. If you're looking for a really fun like fantasy story with supernatural elements and like libraries and stuff, the Invisible Library series is so good, and I'm very hyped to read this one. Alright, continuing on, I have the first 2 books in the Wheel of Time series. I read all the way up to book 9 or 10, back when I was into reading a lot more, and since getting back in and since the show is coming out, I have been rereading the series. I have to pick this one up to start rereading it again, but I love this series a lot. Love the Jasmine Throne, and I cannot wait to read these ones right here. Okay, so this is kind of like my favorite shelf. I have a jar with just some pens and some bookmarks and stuff. I have my little Tauriel Lego figure. If you don't know, Tauriel is my favorite character from The Hobbit. I know she's not in the book, and I love the book, but, you know, I don't care. And then I have this gorgeous illustration of Bag End that was given to me for Christmas one year, and I also have this art print of Frodo that I got at a Comic-Con. So then, I don't really know what I did here. This is like thriller, and then that's kind of like literary fiction, and then sci-fi, and then back to fantasy. I just wanted the book heights to be the same, but on this shelf, obviously my favorites are Lord of the Rings. This copy here is my pride and joy, and I'm currently annotating this version. But as you can tell, the most worn books there is my original copy. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is my life. Okay, so this shelf is half mine, half my girlfriend's. I got this for her as part of a stocking stuffer. That's a rose quartz crystal, and then that's the Spotify code to our song that she embroidered for me for our anniversary 2 years ago. This is her shelf right here. This is her favorite graphic novel, and she loves this series as well, of course. I just bought this one for her recently. Technically this is mine, but I put it on her shelf because she's reading it and enjoying it. And we're constantly adding and expanding her shelf. I'm really glad I got her into reading. And this here is kind of like literary slash historical fiction slash a romance stack. So Five Little Indians is historical fiction, but is it really fiction? I haven't read it yet, but I'm dying. This is literary fiction, and this is historical fiction. And then this is all romance, although Honey Girl isn't really romance. It has some romance, but it's not really romance. I just didn't know where else to put it. There. A more in-depth one in the future. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.